Aloha, I'm Keauhou Nui Browning, Nui for short, and I'm with Real Broker, but we're really supposed to call it Real, but we're a relatively new company here in Hawaii, at least only of the last 3 years. So we're Real Broker, but just real. And this is my mom,
Denise Nakanishi.
And we are part of a 4-agent team here on Hawaii Island. And we would like to share with you today the island-wide stats. If you were around with us during COVID, we had a little Zoom thing where you could hop on and chat with some of our industry, what would you call
Trusted vendors.
Yeah, vendors.
Yeah.
And like the pest control people and the tree people and inspectors and those kinds of things. And so we're trying to revive that with stats. And we also had Ryan Kadota on there most weeks, and he would tell us about his wine of the month. And we're going to try to revive that as well, because if you go into Kadota's and Kadota Liquors and you mention Team Nakanishi and the wine of the month, you can get the wine of the month for 10% off. And this month, unfortunately, Ryan couldn't make it, and neither could the wine because I didn't have time to pick it up, boohoo. But I would like to tell you that there is the number 10 wine on the Spectator Top 100 of 2024 is what his wine of the month is. And it's, I hope I'm saying this correctly, Rami Chardonnay Russian River Valley 2022. And he sent me the blurb about it. The benchmark Russian River bottling shows great depth of flavor, length of finish, aromatic complexity, and a fine balance between richness and delicacy. This is a graceful yet vibrant wine, like me, expressive of stone fruit and white flowers. So, if that sounds delicious to you, you can go to Kadota Liquors, and that will be $49.50, I believe, with the 10% off. So let's, do you have something to say?
Nope. Just that it's pretty fun to go down there and check out their wine selection and learn about it from Ryan. So
yeah, if you're a nerd about wine, go talk to Ryan and he will satisfy your wine nerd heart. So we are going to try to give you the stats from around the island very briefly, and kind of what it means for you if you're in the market to buy or sell, or just for your own fun fact knowledge. So we'll start with an island-wide snapshot so you can kind of gauge, compare the island-wide to the different areas that we're going to focus on today. We're going to do North Hilo, Puna, and then we'll do South Kohala and North Kona is what we'll give you a snapshot of. So in Hilo, I'm already skipping ahead. For the island-wide snapshot, year over year, we are down. I'm sure you've been seeing, if you've been watching any type of real estate show or anything about the economy, you have been seeing that the real estate market has slowed down some. So year over year, we are down. In April, the number of sales was down 74 sales, which is about 17% from last April 2024. And year to date, we're down 87 sales from January to April to compared to this January to April.
But interestingly, prices are not going down.
Yeah, they haven't been moving yet. The median sales price of single family homes is $605 for the island, which is up $72,000 from last year, April. Vacant land is also up for the island, $6,000, but that's still a 12% increase. And the condominiums, that's where things are coming down.
Softer market.
It's down $205,000 and about 26% decrease. But I think that has a lot to do with the uncertainty about the insurance and a lot of our buildings are needing, they're older, so they're needing a lot of work. And you had some insight into that earlier today too, didn't you?
On
the condo market.
Condo market. Well, the other interesting thing is in Hilo, where the buildings are older, they're actually, it's a more robust condo market than we're seeing on the other side of the island. I think some of that has to do with inventories, and we got a legislative update today too, and it looks like the legislature may step in and help them with the insurance for a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the island-wide. We'll move over to Puna real quick, and what we'll do is just give you the active inventory, the number of active inventory there is right now, and the median days on market and sales price ratio. Oh, sorry, we didn't do Hilo. We'll start in Hilo. I'm making everybody all crazy. Okay, so I actually pulled some of these stats at the beginning of the month. And so at the beginning of the month, there were 94 active listings in Hilo, and there's still 94 active listings today, but 13 have sold since May 1st. So it's kind of even, 13 sold and there's still 94. So 13 must have been listed. Since the beginning of the month, the sales to original price ratio, it came down. It was 99% of the people were purchasing their homes at 99% of the original ask price, and now just 3 weeks later it's 95. It's dropped down to 95, so there's a little bit of negotiation room, it seems.
And if Danny was here, he would say that we have a bifurcated market, which means that if you're in the lower tier or the upper tier, you're going to see different results.
Yeah.
We have a lot of inventory over $1 million, and not so much below our where local buyers can buy.
The median right now in Hilo as of today is $749. That's the active list price, and then the average is almost 1.2. Okay, so we'll move on to
a little bit of a disconnect, I'd say.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with that the ones in the $1 million plus range are newer homes. Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place in the camera. Are newer homes.
Yeah.
And we in Hilo, we have a lot of really old homes. So you'll see those in like from 450 to like 800-ish.
And the other thing that's always included in our Hilo stats are homes on acreage, which you don't have many other places on the island.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move along to the Puna area. At the beginning of the month, there were 385 active listings, and today there's 379, so it's pretty steady. Median, the days on market though, that really hopped up for both Hilo and Puna. I don't know if I mentioned the days on market for Hilo, but it's hopped up quite a bit since I pulled these stats at the beginning of the month. So for Puna, the average days on market was 62 for the month of April, and now since the beginning of May, it's up to 116, and the median is 82 versus 31, which was April's. So things are sitting longer on the market, and it seems like maybe some of the ones that were sitting longer on the market have sold. Don't you think, that number? Okay. Yeah, I was asking you a question. Hello. Okay, so as of today, the sales to original price ratio is the median. Well, the median average are about the same, 95 to 96%. So you can expect to negotiate about 4 to 5% off of the original sales price or asking price in the Puna area. So we'll move along, because I don't want to make this, and have this be way too long.
And remember that Puna is the size of all the other islands put together. So you'll see a large swing in pricing depending on the neighborhood that you're looking at.
And there's a lot of there's 3 different lava zones in Puna. There's lava zone 1, 2, and 3, and there are a lot of unpermitted homes in Puna. And actually, I just got off another call with somebody who works in the Keauhou area, and there's also 3 different. How many lava zones are there in Keauhou? There's lava zone 1, 2, and 4,
and 8
and 6.
6.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, 1, 2, 6, and 8. So they kind of have a similar situation as Puna. But one thing that you should know about the lava zones is that it really plays a part in whether you can get insurance and how much that insurance is going to be, and if you can purchase a property that has any unpermitted portions of the home. Because if you're in lava zone 1 or 2 and any part of your home is unpermitted, you will not be able to get insurance for that house. You can, there's ways around it, so call us. I don't want this to end up taking up this whole video,
dissertation on insurance.
Yeah, so call us and we'll explain further, but that's it in a nutshell. Okay, so we'll move along to the Kohala area, and I kind of broke Kohala down into 3 different areas: the Waikoloa Village, Mauna Lani, Mauna Kea, and Waikoloa Resort. So 4. They are kind of all very, well, somewhat similar, but also different. In Waikoloa Village, you have price ranges from 760,000 to 1. This doesn't seem right. 1.4. That must be the sorry. Okay, yes, I'm looking at the wrong one. The actives range from about 630,000 to 2.745 million. The ones that are like in the 600s are usually workforce housing or something like that. I think this one might have just been an older house that needs repair, if I remember correctly. And the ones that are on the higher end of in the 2 million marks are new construction. They're not even built yet, actually. If you go on MLS and look at it, it's just a rendering. It's in a new neighborhood coming up. The average in Waikoloa area is going to be in around $1 million. And so right now there are 54 active listings in Waikoloa, and the median list price is 1.05. Average.
Which to me is interesting, because that means we've got more than 2 years of inventory in Waikoloa Village right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of homes listed in Waikoloa Village. So I think I forgot to mention what I was going to say about the ones that are closer to the $1 million mark. They're going to be a little bit older homes. Older, I'm talking about maybe like 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s, don't you think?
In Waikoloa Village?
Yeah, like some of the ones that we've been looking at recently weren't some of them built in the 70s? The one that we looked at the other day?
They were in the lower price point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The ones that are closer to $1 million were, I think the one that we looked at the other day was
totally renovated or
was
newer.
I'm talking about the ones that are in the $1 million mark. Those are going to be older and kind of need some updating.
The village?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the ones that are like, we went to go see that really decked out house up on the hill that's almost $2 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ones that are like the one that we went with a nice yard, there was one that wasn't that one in the what year was that built?
I don't remember, but it was totally renovated. So.
Maybe her idea of renovated is different than my idea of renovated, because I did not think that was renovated. It had old floors, and I mean, they did. Sorry, this guy really wants to join. They did update the kitchen and things, but I wouldn't say that it was totally renovated. Anyway, you're not going to get a brand new home in Waikoloa for $1 million. That's the whole point of this conversation right now. Okay, so moving along, but in Waikoloa Village, the single family homes you are negotiating a little bit more than Hilo. People are negotiating down to 95.97% of the sale to original price. And then Mauna Lani, these are also single family homes. Those are ranging right now from 4.6 million to 25 million. So that's a resort area. It is gorgeous. Lots of nice amenities over there. So the average list price is 10.5 million right now. And if you are wanting to purchase a home right now, I guess you do have a little negotiating room, but only one sold in April. That one sold for 7.25 million and with 19 days on the market. And it sold for 91% of its original asking price.
And their days on market are creeping up in that neighborhood.
Well, but the single family homes are not so much. The ones that are really expensive. So that's another thing that we've been noticing is that things that are under 4 million, I would say, are having longer days on market, but things that are considered like ultra luxury are still selling relatively quickly. Like in Mauna Kea Resort, there were 2 sold last month, and one was 3.6 million, and then the other was 9.9. And actually, those sold above ask price. Oh my gosh, he's worse than a little kid, you know.
And that inventory still is a little higher than it was, but the demand is for 8 houses, and there's 13 on the market. So
Mauna Kea.
In Mauna Kea.
Okay. Where are you looking at?
I have to figure that out. But when I read an article for the newspaper, and when I figure out the inventory, she just goes by straight active, but I add back in the contingent properties because that's part of that mix. So I think that it's important to track the inventory levels because then you get a better sense of over time where the market's going. Just my opinion.
He has an opinion. His opinion is that he needs to be on my lap all the time, and I can't do it. Can't do it, buddy. You gotta get down. Okay. Well, so you're looking at the active over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So active right now, like she said, there's 13 active homes in Mauna Kea Resort, and those range from 3.5 to 29.7 million. So average list price is 12 million, and the average days on market in that area is 112 for single family homes.
But what we are seeing is that at that upper price point, it's not affecting what was the number that was sold 2 years ago is probably the same number that's selling today. It's just not affecting that market as heavily.
It's also not really affecting the market that's under like 650-ish either. And I think maybe that's because
that's our local buyers.
Well, it's local buyers, but it's also kind of where that line of when does it get more expensive to rent versus buy kind of thing. That's where that kind of happens at that point, right? Don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry if you can hear him now. Mason is now chewing on his bone. It's much better than sitting in my lap. And then the condos we'll go over condos right now. So there's Waikoloa Village, and then there's Mauna Kea. There is Mauna Lani and Waikoloa Resort. So those Mauna Lani, Mauna Kea, and Waikoloa are all resort areas, and Waikoloa Village, it feels kind of resorty, but I guess it's not really considered a resort. There are more less transient people, I guess, in Waikoloa Village area than the resort. And then also the things with the resort areas is that you can do an STVR, single family home, a short-term vacation rental in those neighborhoods because of the zoning. So right now, let's see, Waikoloa Village, am I looking at the right thing here?
Yeah, so in the village, there's 42 condos listed, and so the demand would be for 36. So you can see there's a little bit of an oversupply.
Because there was 9 sold in the month of April.
Yeah, in the Mauna Lani, in the resort, there's 54 active, and there was 12 sales. I mean, sorry, the
3
demand
sales.
is for 12.
Okay, yeah, there are 3 sales.
For the year.
So the condo market, it has slowed down a lot, and kind of what we touched on earlier. Huh?
Nothing.
She's correcting my what did I say? And what?
Slowed.
No, I didn't say. I said slowed.
Slowed. Oh, sorry, not yours.
Slowed down. I think I said slowed. I don't think I would say slowed. Anyway, I have her, and then one of my friends from college, because I can not spell for the life of me, and every time I misspell something on Instagram, I get a notice from him telling me how to correct it. So I have her telling me about my speech, and then him correcting my spelling all the time. But it's okay. It makes you a better person. Okay, anyway, moving along, we're gonna go to Mauna Kea Resort. These condos are very similar in amenities to Mauna Lani. They are a little newer than the Mauna Lani area. A lot of the Mauna Lani areas. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't say what the sales to original ask price was in Mauna Lani. So for condos in Mauna Lani, the sales to original ratio is 93%. So you can negotiate about 7% off. My friend Julie likes to say it's 7% on sale. So, okay, now moving on along to Mauna Kea Resort. Right now, there are 12 active condo listings, and those listings, some of them kind of feel, well, I guess they consider them villas. So they feel kind of like a duplex almost. So they don't really feel so condo-y. They feel more like you're living in your very own home, but you do have somebody right next to you.
Shared wall.
Mm-hmm. So those range from 1.9 to about 7.5 million. So the 7.5 million is a villa. And there are 12 active on the market right now. There were 0 sales for Mauna Kea condos last month. And then we'll go to Waikoloa Resort and Puako. So Puako is kind of right down the street from Waikoloa. If you're familiar with Hapuna Beach, it's right next to Hapuna. And it is gorgeous. You should look it up. Oh, anyway, there's one condo building in Puako, and you can live in Puako, which is typically like a very expensive community. You can live in Puako in a condo for $679,000. That sounds good to me. But there are, between Waikoloa Resort and the one in Puako, there's 57 actives, and the average, where am I going? Sorry, the sales to original ask price is 89.55. That's the ratio for that area.
The reason is because the demand would be come out to 24 for the year, and you got 57 on the market. So
yeah, 6 sold last month. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot of condo inventory. They're kind of just, a lot of them are sitting. So we'll move along to Kona now. I didn't print out the Konas, so I was a bad student. Okay, so Kona, we're only gonna focus on North Kona. If there's other areas of the island that you want information on, we're already at 25 minutes, so I wouldn't want to cause a snooze fest here. But we'll do Kailua-Kona, which is like it's Ali'i Drive area, kind of like by the airport to maybe like almost to the end of Ali'i Drive. And then there's Keauhou area, which is on the south end of Ali'i Drive. And so Keauhou tends to be a little bit more of the higher end market. I would say more resort sort of thing. Again, there is one resort there, but it's different than Mauna Lani and Mauna Kea, where it's, I guess, a lot of the homes are
single family.
Yeah.
Bigger lots.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, in general, but not always.
Not always.
Yeah, especially in the resort zoned areas, the lots are not as big. But there are a mix of condos and single family homes in Keauhou. And there's a lot of short-term vacation rental opportunities in that area, as well as Kailua-Kona, actually, because of Ali'i Drive. But so we'll do the price ranges in Kona are about 600 to 2.7, 2.8 right now. So the average price is about 1.4, and the sales to original ask price is about 96%. So there's a little wiggle room, but not a lot. The median days on market is 48, and average is 138. In Keauhou, the price ranges from about 680 to about 3 million, and average and median days on market are both 15, and the sales to original ask price is about 98. And then we'll move along to the I didn't tell you what the active inventory, how much active inventory there were in both of those areas. There are currently, as of today, or as of yesterday, I guess, 59 listings in Kailua-Kona and 15 active listings in Keauhou. These are single-family homes.
And the demand would be in Kailua-Kona for 64, because there were 16 sales last month. So demand for 64, and in Keauhou it would be for 8, and because there was 2 sales.
Okay.
Keauhou looks like they're strong.
Well, again, because I think it's that upper
tier.
Yeah, it's like everything in the kind of, and we were talking to our colleague Jason yesterday, and he brought up a good point that, you know, there's kind of a bottleneck in things where in that million to 2 million range, because those people, if they're even trying to make a lateral move, if they had a 3% interest rate, which is what caused the bottleneck before, or like where people weren't wanting to sell because they had these low interest rates, and now they're having to go buy, or if they want to buy, they're having to buy with a 6 and 7% interest rate. So nobody was selling. That was what was happening before. But now people are kind of like, if they're in the 700 and below range, then they are starting to sell and to buy, because that's kind of where you the rent, you can help me out explaining where the rent becomes more expensive than the actual mortgage payment is above that little.
Right.
So I hope that made some sense. Anyway, there's a bottleneck in things around in the $1 to $2 million
and I think
range.
people, there was a, you know, they didn't have anywhere to go, even if they were willing to give up their cheap mortgage. So now there is, I think people have decided the rates aren't coming down anytime soon, so they've just decided it's time to sell and just move on to the next thing.
the other thing, Jason said he didn't really see this going on with the people that he's working with too much, but people that are looking with me from the $1 million price range and like $1 to $2 million price range, a lot of them have kind of said, you know, they own a lot of stocks and things, so they're feeling uncertain about their stocks, and that a lot of their wealth is in their stocks, and so if the stock market is volatile, well, it's always volatile, but especially now, then they don't really feel comfortable spending their money until they kind of see where that's going to go. I've had a few people tell me that, so I think that's the other thing. Although Jason didn't see that. Are you seeing that, Mom?
Well, I know historically that once the stock market gets squirrely, a lot of people will just pull their money out and put it in real estate because it doesn't go to nothing. But
yeah, but I think that's
I'm not seeing that so much yet.
Yeah, I was reading that about the ultra luxury market though, where that's what people are doing in that market. I read that on somewhere, which I mean, so maybe, I don't know, there is that little section of 1 to 2 million and 3 million that looks like it's just kind of sitting a little longer. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, so we're gonna try to hurry up. Oops, sorry. And so the condos and villas in Kailua and Keauhou, right now there are 115 active condos in Kailua and 9 sold last month. So do you know what that ratio is, or you forgot to do that one?
I didn't do that.
Okay, well,
I ain't that good.
This for next time. And in Keauhou there are 37 condos active as of yesterday, and 6 sold in the month of April. The price ranges for those condos are $298 in Kona and 2.47 million. The 298,000 one is in a building where they are doing a lot of renovations, and they're actually trying to get a loan for the renovations. I don't know if they actually got that loan yet, so it's kind of on hold. The renovations are on hold right now, and so you can get a really nice deal in there. I'm noticing one of my clients actually got a pretty good deal in there, and it's a really nice building in a really great location. You just have to know that there are renovations coming, significant, or renovation is not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? They're redoing the parking lot and some other things.
Upgrades. But I do see that those two markets, the condo markets in Kona and Keauhou, are much. One's getting only 92%, which isn't bad, and one's 90% of ask.
Yeah, Keauhou is at 90% of ask in April. And then Keauhou ranges from 420 to 1.1 million right now. Those are the active listings, and yeah, like she said, they're getting about 90% of the original ask price. And
but you got to be willing to pay the insurance. So
yeah, and then average
should come down.
Oh, sorry. Did I have the average? Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I didn't pull the average days on market. We will get better at this. For the solds, but for the active condos in Kona, the average days on market is 89, and for the Keauhou area is 116 days on the market. So I guess that's it for today. We will get better. Maybe Mason will not try to be the star of the show again, or maybe you want him to be the star of the show, but he gets me all furry. You have anything to add?
Nope. Yes. Thanks for watching.
All right. We'll see you next time. Aloha.